Hi, Governor. My name's Brian McClain. I'm the local shop steward here in Hanover Township, so I feel as though that's a fair, let you start know where we're coming from. We feel bad for you initially because of your analogy. You did get left with the check. And if you talk to some of my colleagues, the 5 predecessors belong in jail because they'd never kept the promise, okay? When the majority of my guys took these jobs, they said, the old saying was, you're never going to get rich working for the public, okay? But you'll always have your benefits to be able to take care of your family when you retire. We acknowledge you're getting killed because of Sandy, a lot of different outside things beating you up. But my guys asked me to ask you today, so I hear it right from you so I can go back and answer the question to them. If your team put in place this plan to get us out of this, they want you to make the payment. So they want to know why, from your perspective and out of your mouth, you know, we understand there's outside things coming at you in a lot of different ways, but I want to be able to hear it from you, you know, as to securing my guys going forward.
Yeah, we don't have the money.
Okay.
I mean, like, listen, we simply don't have the money. And I told you what we need to get the money. So if folks want me to raise the sales tax to 10%, or want me to raise income tax on every working New Jerseyan by another 29%, and if you think that what ultimately will happen will be that people won't evacuate this state like their clothes are on fire, which will create an even bigger problem for us, that's the only way you do it that way. The only other way to do it is say, listen, those promises that were made, and by the way, were also demanded by the union leaders.
Well, we felt one collective in bargaining.
Of course, yeah, right, with political muscle behind it. I mean, let's be honest, okay?
Both ways, though.
Listen, I understand, but all you and I have done over the course of the last couple of minutes, me well before you, was to blame my predecessors, and they deserve blame. But let me tell you something else. Your union leaders, too, knew that it wasn't getting paid for. It wasn't like they thought, oh, well, there must be some secret stash of money somewhere where they're going to pay for this stuff. But they wanted to take the political victory lap. There's politics on both sides. They wanted to come to you and say, guess what? We just got you N over 55 on your pension. How about that? Aren't we the best? Guess what? We just got your health benefits increased. You get even better benefits now, and you don't have to pay any more. Remember, when I became governor, most public workers, not all, but most, paid nothing for their health insurance. Nothing.
Well, we've always paid into our pension.
Oh, well, listen, great. But you've paid a minimal amount that went nowhere near what your real share should have been. Remember something, the judges in this state, up until I changed it, paid 3% of their salary for their pension. You think that comes anywhere near to paying for a 65% of highest and best salary for a pension? We increased it to 12. And still it doesn't pay for everything that they're going to get. And the teachers were down at 5. It doesn't pay for a benefit when you're going to live as long as we're living now, and it's going to be as a large a pension as it is. So yes, you always paid into it. And by the way, so did most localities. Most local governments, which is why the police and fire system is in better shape than some of the other ones, because localities have paid in. But even so, they're at about 70 to 75% of funded value, and the localities have made all their payments, and the officers have made all their payments. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the benefits, even when everybody's making their payments, don't add up. So what I tell your guys is, people didn't tell you the truth you're counting on to tell you the truth. And the fact is, over the last 3 years on the deal I made, there were $6 billion worth of payments that were, or $6.5 billion of payments that were due and owing. I've made $4.2 billion of them. Okay.
And we thank you for that.
Well, and listen, but that's my obligation is to make every nickel the payment I could. And if I had the money today, and if I run a surplus beyond the surplus that we have in the budget, I'm going to put every nickel into the pension system because it's an obligation that we have. But I can't print the money. So what I'd go back and tell your guys is this. There's a choice to be made now. And part of the plan that I didn't go through in all the detail is I would take all of the pension systems out of control of government and turn them over to the unions. We have $80 billion on deposit in the state pension systems, $80 billion. I would take all of it and turn it over to the unions. So you now manage these for your members. Take it away from the politicians. Take it away from them. Don't let them dip into it. Don't let them shortchange it. You take it and you control it from now on. Because they're the ones who are most responsible to you and the ones you pay dues to run things. That's another part of the plan that I didn't mention before. I don't have any interest in being involved in this, but I have to fix it. So I appreciate that you acknowledge that I got left with a pretty bad deal here.
Absolutely.
But you know what? As my wife reminds me often when I complain about this, no one put a gun to my head, right, to take this job. I did this voluntarily. So, but I want to fix it. But you got to be honest with your guys, and I'll be honest with you, they're all here. Some of the firefighters may remember, I came to the firefighters convention 4 or 5 years ago, and I walked in Wildwood, and they booed the hell out of me because I was suggesting the first round of changes. And in essence, what I said to them up there was, listen, I understand you're angry, and I understand you're betrayed and feel deceived, and the reason you do feel that way is because you were. And you can boo me all you want. But in the end, I don't understand why you're booing the first guy who came here and told you the truth, rather than the folks who told you and whispered sweet nothings in your ears for decades and stuck it to you just to get your vote. Easiest thing in the world for me to be was say, don't worry about it. We'll fix it. It'll all be fine. You know, don't watch over here, look over here. Let me distract you a little bit and then I'll be gone. And I'll be one of those guys. I don't want to be one of those guys. I want to be the guy who you may say, he's an SOB. I can't believe what he's doing. But 10 years from now, when your pension's there, you look up my address on the internet and send me a thank you note.
You got it.
All right?
Thank you, sir.